It's kind of freaky to think that what happened in this movie is slowly happening to us right now. Hello, Fanatics. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you The Circle, starring Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, and John Boyega. First, we'll tell you our initial thoughts and what the movie is about. Then we'll move on to some spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with our spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film and our final word. Overall, I was thoroughly disappointed with how this movie turned out. I had expected it to be a mix of Black Mirror meets The Social Network, but that wasn't the case. The Circle follows an ambitious woman who lands a dream job at The Circle, a powerful tech company whose mission is to make the world safer with absolute transparency. For what I liked about this film, this was an amazing premise for a story. The Circle is essentially what every social media platform wants to become, and that's where our entire being is stored online on one profile, and you have to use it for everything, and that's kind of freaky to think about. I also found that in Tom Hanks' limited performance, he killed it as the charismatic yet shady CEO of The Circle. And another performance that I have to praise is that of Bill Paxton's. This is his final film appearance, and he plays Emma Watson's father, who's been diagnosed with MS. And the way he portrays this character, you just want to feel for him. I didn't know he was going to be in this movie, and I was pleasantly surprised to see this because he was gone way too soon. As for what I disliked, as much as I enjoyed the premise of this movie, I found that the delivery was very badly done. For starters, the story was very choppy, and it had some terrible character development throughout the story. We also got some boring dialogue and some very forced and rushed plot points. In fact, the film drags so much that I wouldn't even consider the conclusion of this film a climax. It ends so abruptly and with... In fact, the film drags so much that I wouldn't consider the conclusion even a climax. It was so abrupt and unsatisfying. The film focuses too much on Emma Watson's character, making everyone else appear as if they are cameos, which is underusing both Tom Hanks and John Boyega. Meanwhile, Emma Watson's performance is meh at best. I mean, her character is just so plain, there's nothing really going there for her, and on top of it, everything that she seems to do throughout the movie is just more and more out of character and seems forced in order to drive the plot forward. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear our final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. So this is going to be a little bit of a rant in regards to how the story played out in this movie, and I know it's based on a book. However, the way that it was transcribed into a movie, I don't know if they left stuff out or not, but this is what I think. They focused too much on Emma Watson's character. Yes, they had subplots with her family and how they were dealing with her father's MS, as well as her best friend Karen Gillan and her kind of descent into just being this mindless drone for the company. However, there's a lot of stuff that is not explained. The main thing for me is that you know Tom Hanks and Patton Oswalt to be the leaders of this company, The Circle, but it isn't until the end that it comes out that they're maybe a little bit shady and they're doing some things that might be more beneficial to them. Now, what I don't understand is throughout the movie, yes, you always think about someone being a CEO of a big tech company like this, that they might be a little bit shady, but it's Tom Hanks. And you don't really understand that until the end when he says a line to Patton Oswalt when she's saying that she wants to get them to do the transparency thing as well. And it just made no sense to me. I understand you're following her the entire time and it's supposed to be focused on her and her story, but you needed to have some type of subplot there to explain what kind of dealings these two might have been doing, so that it's not that, oh, out of the blue, like in left field, all of a sudden these guys are shady just because, you know, it's assumed that people in high offices are shady. On top of it, John Boyega's character, he's the guy who invented this true view thing, and he's completely against the idea of the invasion of privacy and wants to do his own thing. And yet Emma Watson, after her friend dies, goes, hey, I want to make the CEOs of this company transparent as well, so that we can undermine them, but then eventually it makes it so that everyone's transparent and that the invasion of privacy does actually happen. And isn't that against everything that John Boyega wanted? Wouldn't he have tried to undermine what Emma Watson was doing there to try and make sure that there was still privacy and that everyone wasn't being watched? Like, it wasn't explained enough. He didn't have enough of a conversation with her. He just said, yeah, I'll do whatever for you. And it really made no sense there that everyone just kind of jumped on board with what she was doing when in a matter of months she had gone from a temp worker to all of a sudden like the biggest thing in the circle. So it made no sense to me. It seemed rushed, it seemed forced, and I feel like this movie would have been a lot better if they had explored those two subplots more and maybe extended the length of this film so that it could have been more of an Oscar baity drama film that was put out at the end of the year, so that it would be like 3 hours and you could deal with those types of things like Social Network. But instead this one ends up more along the lines of like The Internship. So I don't know, it was something wrong in the delivery again. Amazing premise, bad delivery. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. The Circle is a paranoia-inducing sci-fi drama that deals with the harsh realities of how technology is affecting society today. Although the premise is entertaining, the script, acting, and direction are bland as they attempt to fit a square peg in a round hole. This film had so much potential, but again, the delivery just wasn't there, so I'm gonna give The Circle a 3. Thanks everybody for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing The Circle, or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of how the story turned out? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Fanatic 5 video where we discuss the top Cillian Murphy roles. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.